Hey, in this video, like I mentioned in the title, I'll be going over the quickest way you can actually become a full-time content creator. And I'm making this video because a lot of people want to do exactly that. They want to become full-time content creators. And there's actually a spike of people who are becoming online and making content and blowing up and stuff like that. So I kind of want to go over, because it is a trendy topic of actually being a full-time content creator, the quickest way you can go about it, right? I'm sure there's a bunch of other videos out there like do this and post that much amount of content, sure, but I want to actually just show you like the real business stuff behind actually becoming a content creator, like the quickest way you can go about it and how you can actually set yourself up and take the right actions in your journey, or maybe you're already creating content or you're in the process of that, to actually make it full-time, to actually make a lot of money. When I mean a lot of money, I don't just mean like barely making it and making a few $1,000s per month. I mean actually making like 10 to 30K plus per month, right? This is what the goal is really if you want to become a full-time content creator. So I want to show you exactly the process and how you exactly should be focusing your time on to do exactly that. And essentially, you wanting to become a full-time content creator, either you already are creating some kind of content or you want to get in that space, it's actually really, really good that you want to do so, because there's so much benefits with having your own personal brand, having your own, your own accounts and gaining a following and getting attention, because these days attention is very, very valuable. You can turn that into kind of any business you like, and it's one of the easiest business to actually start compared to all the other ones and all these startup costs usually required to starting one. Posting content online, as you guys know, is completely free, and that's why so many people do it, and it's one of the best business models to get into. But I want to talk about why so many people want to actually become full-time content creators or content creators in general, and it's one of the reasons why there's so many people who want to do it. And the first reason to that is that usually people will be working in a specific environment, a specific industry that they don't really like, right? This is something I see personally a lot. People do not exactly like what they're doing, and this not liking your job thing is very common, as you guys probably know, but they want to actually transition to being a content creator because they see the ease of actually becoming a content creator and making money through that, right? Compared to just starting your own business from scratch, specifically not a digital or online business, which is really, really hard these days. The competition has gone completely through the roof. That's why a lot of people are starting digital kind of businesses or creating content, which seem a lot way more easier, which it is, right? And the thing with that is that they see a lot of other people online who necessarily aren't maybe the hugest, personal brands out there, but are still creating content, and people will look at that as, hey, I can probably do the same thing as they're doing, post content online, whether it be on YouTube or any kind of other platform, and get paid for it. And get paid for it in a way which I actually will go in depth on exactly what you should be focusing on to get paid. Because there's a lot of things out there, like you see, having brand deals, doing affiliate links, stuff like that. But I want to talk about specifically a way you can do it, and essentially that is the quickest way you can become a full-time content creator, and that's what I want to go with. And if you watched other YouTube videos on my channel, you can see that it's exactly the thing that I always talk about, and what to do to make a lot of money with your content creation or being online and having any kind of online presence. And I also want to mention that becoming a content creator now, with all the resources available, all the YouTube videos available, all the programs available, is probably the easiest time to get into it. Because if you roll back a few years in the past, it was pretty hard to become a content creator, stuff like that, because there wasn't anybody teaching it really. But nowadays, because there's a lot of people in the market, a lot of people are creating videos about it, so it is the easiest time to actually get into it and not only blow up, but actually make money with it. And I would like to clarify the difference between actually being just a content creator full-time that kind of just makes a few $1,000s per month, just kind of gets by and kind of replaces just the income they're making with their current job, compared to what I pretty much focus on is being a full-time content creator where you actually have a business around it, right? You gain this attention, and through that you actually create a business around it, an educational business for that matter, and actually sell whatever you want to teach and actually make a lot of money with it. And when I mean full-time is that because you're actually making a lot of money, it's turning into a business. You're not just scraping by and kind of replacing or almost replacing that income that you have with your job. I'm talking about actually having a really good business and all the things that come with that. And that's it. I would like to address you watching this video specifically. You're either in one of two camps. Either you're already a content creator who maybe has a few thousand tens of thousands or 100,000 followers on any given platform, and you're kind of looking to make that full time, right? You don't know exactly the steps to do essentially that full time. You don't know exactly what to do and you're unsure of the process. Or you're someone who wants to start doing content online. You want to start posting your stuff. Either you have either knowledge or not. You just want to start posting content online just to kind of gain traction and maybe build a business around, right? These are usually the two camps that if you are watching this video that you will be on. Well, the things I'm going to teach you in this video specifically kind of apply for both, so make sure you listen. The first thing you have to know about how quickly you can actually become a content creator is specifically what you're going to make your content about, which essentially is your niche. Because there's two sides to it. If you're going to make content, or if you're already making content about something that you're really good at, you have an expertise in, and you like creating content about, and usually your content is educational, so it's actually just helping out people, or you're in the other camp where you want to start making content, or you're already making content, but it doesn't have any educational value to it. So you're not actually helping out people because necessarily yourself, you don't necessarily have a skill or an expertise that you can actually showcase, right? You're probably just making lifestyle content. You're probably just making content around something that doesn't include what you know. And for those people in the second camp, I just want to let you know that it is going to take way more time for you to actually make it full time. And essentially, I won't really be addressing you guys because this is not necessarily who I work with personally. I work with people who have skills or an expertise or are very knowledgeable in something because that's way easier to become full-time content creators. It's way easier to actually build a business around it compared to other people who don't necessarily have a skill. Not having a skill in creating content, you're gonna have to just be very, very popular and find other creative ways to actually make money. It's gonna be harder, so just to keep that in mind. And coming back to those people who do have a skill or knowledge and are either making content or want to make content, the greatest advantage you have is that there is currently someone in your specific niche that you are creating content about who is currently making it full time. And what's great about that is that you can actually exactly see, go in depth in their account and see exactly what they're doing. How much are they posting? What does that actual content look like for them? How are they actually making their money? And that's a huge indicator for you. It's gonna be so much easier to actually make it full time if you can just exactly see what someone else is doing and kind of not copy them, but just replicate exactly what they're doing and what they're selling and stuff like that to make it full time, right? And this exactly ties back to my very first step, which the first step to actually being a content creator full time quickly is exactly seeing who is in your niche specifically, like exactly making the content that you wanna make or are currently making in a different kind of way, and exactly just breaking down their processes. Like go through their account, put up a Google Docs right next to it and write down exactly what they're doing, how much are they posting, exactly what their content looks like, what is their viral content, breaking down exactly that, what does their offer look like, how do they teach it, how many people are actually engaged in the comment, what are they doing inside their content to convert people in. Like you just have to look at that exactly what they're doing. That's going to be the best indicator and the easiest way for you to actually replicate it and actually develop an actual strategy to make it full-time yourself. The very first step, and this is if you are making content already or not, is exactly seeing, let's say, the top 3 to 5 people in your niche and, you know, people that you know are actually making it full-time currently through their content creation, and see exactly what they're doing from the content. The content is going to be the driving factor for your business and how quickly are you going to actually able to make it full-time. So go over their content. I want you to write down exactly how often they're posting and also what does their content look like. What do they talk about? Do they do voice over TikTok? Do they do reels? Do they do long form videos? Exactly what they do. So I want you to write down exactly what they are doing from their content. That's going to give you an idea of what you should actually be doing and focusing your time on when it comes to actually creating content. And when I'm telling you this, I don't want you to just write a few video ideas. I actually want you to develop a full content strategy. So I don't know, write down like 30, 40, 50 videos, you know, elaborate your own, give ideas, but based off the other people and what they're doing, I want you to write down exactly content ideas. And through that content ideas, like how are you actually gonna shoot it? What does that look like? What does that camera look like when you're gonna shoot it? Like exactly develop your content strategy. That's what I want you to do. And then the second step is just gonna elaborate how often you're gonna post them. And that's gonna really depend on how much time you actually have, but develop an actual content strategy saying, oh, I'm actually gonna post 2 to 3 times a week, consistently for 3 to 4 months at least, or 2 months at least, right? Through all the content that you've already written down. And I know this is basically basic advice to post content and be consistent, but like I said, the quickest way you can actually go about it is the following. The next step you want to do is create a lead magnet. So this is something that you create for free. This is usually around what you know, what you're skilled at. And this could be a PDF guide, it could be a Google Doc, it could be a mini course, it could be a YouTube video. And essentially that's just going to be used for when you do get people interested in learning more from you, you can give that out to them. And in exchange, you can get an email from them or create a conversation with them. And that essentially will give you a lead pool, which you're gonna have a bunch of leads, bunch of emails, bunch of names that once you do actually release your own product, which I'll be talking about, you can actually just directly send them an email or send them a conversation to get started and to actually buy your product. And step number 4, and essentially this step is only once you've actually started to gain some kind of following online, right? I know I've pretty much skipped a lot of steps, but like I said, this is what you need to do if you want to make it full time. And I'm not exactly going to go in depth on what kind of content and what that looks like and stuff like that, because I think you can find it on your own. I'm more going to talk about the business side of things and what exactly the steps you have to do. So obviously this is going to be targeted to actually making money with it, right? Step number 4, once you do actually have an audience, I want you to reach out to that specific audience. This can be through calls, this can be through surveys, through polls, and actually ask them a few questions. And I kind of go over this and these questions in other videos, but essentially it's just obviously audience analysis and seeing exactly why are they following you, what are their pain points, what are they looking for, are they looking for any help, how much would they actually be ready to invest in such help if you were to actually create something. Though these kind of questions are going to give you an idea of what actually your audience wants, and this is super crucial because if you are going to spend so much time actually building a product, you want to create something that actually people want. And step number 5, if you haven't already guessed, and I've talked about this in other videos on my channel, essentially this channel is what it's all about. Actually creating your very own online program or course that's going to help them in an educational way. This is the easiest and best way you can make the most amount of money with your account. And it's actually the way you'll see a bunch of other people doing it online and are actually having 6- and 7-figure business around it. Because the days of you doing actual brand deals or affiliate links specifically in your account simply are just not going to work anymore. It's not what you would want to be focusing on because you're not actually building a business around it. And again, I've went over similar videos and exactly why that's not good. So you can probably check that on my channel, but it's just not something you want to be focusing on. You want to be focusing on your very own online program or course that's educational. That's what you want to be doing. And I know I've just really simplified the whole thing and there's so much steps that go into it, but I just want to lay out like the general steps on how to actually make content creation full-time as quickly as possible. These steps I just laid out, this is exactly how you're going to do it. Not like stupid content ideas and stuff like that. This, if you want to have the quickest way to be able to do it, these are exactly the steps you should focus on, right? Obviously take more time into knowing exactly what content you're going to make and stuff like that, but these are exactly the business steps for you to make a full-time content creator. But it is to know that being a full-time content creator completely depends on so many factors, like how viral does your video go, what niche you're on. It could take a few weeks, but it could also take a few months. But essentially, the steps I've laid out is what you should be focusing on. Like I just mentioned, it's just going to be the quickest way you can actually become full-time if you simply focus on that. And another tip that I haven't really mentioned, I want you to also focus on and elaborate which platform you're actually going to start on. Maybe you're already currently in a platform, which is good, stick to that platform if you are seeing some success. But I want to talk to you about specifically different platforms because a lot of people, and I see this a lot, will recommend you to go on TikTok or short form because it's the easiest way to blow up. Now, this could be true. Obviously, you could have a video blow up, but again, when it ties back to actually having an online program or course, the only way you're gonna make sales with that online program or course is having people that trust you, that know about you, and that are often seeing your content. And that's not really gonna happen with TikTok as much as other platforms. Although yes, TikTok, you can blow up a video quickly, but those people are not really gonna stay, and they're just seeing a few seconds of you. And obviously, if you ever saw someone scroll, they're scrolling pretty quickly, and they're not gonna look at you for a while. So instead, what you wanna do is focus on these longer platforms. And a perfect example of this is YouTube. And I'm not saying for you to become the next YouTuber. I'm just saying if you are creating some short form content, that's definitely good. Get a lot of people to that, but make sure you can direct them to a longer format videos. That's gonna do the selling for you. That's gonna be way easier. And don't get discouraged when your first, few YouTube videos don't get any views necessarily. It's just definitely a good way to have it. It's just gonna be able to sell people that you get through your short form content. So make sure you focus on that as well. Now, like I mentioned, the process of actually doing all this does go way more in depth, and then this video wasn't necessarily about it. I've made other videos on exactly in depth on what you should be doing in the actionable steps, but this is just an overall video showing you exactly kind of also a mindset shift if you want to start creating content, or you're creating content and want to turn it into something you do full time. And essentially I made this video because it's exactly what I do. If you're interested particularly in having your own online program or course launched, so build, launch, and scaled, for you to actually make it full-time as a content creator, that's exactly what I do, and I definitely think I can help you out. Obviously, I only work with a certain type of people, so usually people who not only have skills and knowledge, like I mentioned at the start of the video, and also people who have already gained some kind of an audience. Now, it doesn't have to be a huge audience, but already people who have gained an audience through their content, right? So that's who I work with. If that's you watching this video, I would like to help you out. So what you can do is actually watch the first video in the link in bio, and essentially that's just going to bring you to a page. You can actually see that video and see if you're actually qualified to work with me, because I do not work with everybody. So you can go check that out, that video, if you're interested, and then through that you can book a call, and then through that call we can actually discuss exactly what you had in mind and how we can help you out, how we can partner together essentially and help you do exactly that. So if that's you, make sure to watch that video below and book a call with me if you are interested. If not, for the rest of you who are maybe not there yet exactly, watch my other videos, gain value through there, and then once you are actually interested, you can book that call anytime you'd like. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one.